5th year, and we are very happy to be back. Unfortunately, we can't be in person, so we are online. And today, right now, we have a writing and arranging course with Mr. Will Delisfort, who is an amazing, like probably in my opinion, the best writer on earth. So y'all, you guys are in for a treat. But before we get into the class, I do want to thank our supporters who allowed us to put this camp on for 100% free for about 20, I think it's 24 kids, students so far. So we want to thank the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, the Emerging Philanthropists of New Orleans, 4.0 Schools in partnership with Vela, who all gave us grants for this, and also the Borenstein family, the Anderson family, and the Carrera family, who all made very generous donations. And so yeah, so we're able to give back to our community. And with that, I'm gonna hand it right over to Mr. Will Delisfort and teach us something about writing and arranging.
All right, let me turn my lights on. Ah, magic. All right. Um, first of all, y'all can hear me okay? Coming off good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, make sure know. Yeah. All right. So, my name is Will Delisfort from Miami, Florida. I live in Harlem right now. Why don't you all introduce yourself to me real quick so we can get this? I can get to know you all. Idri.
Yes, sir. My name is IG.
What do you play?
I play trumpet.
Trumpet. All right. Mason. What do you play?
Play piano.
Okay. Piano, trumpet. Cameron.
Hey, what's happening? I play trumpet.
All right. Sorry, I'm writing this down. Valerie.
No, I play guitar,
Guitar.
bass, and acoustic and electric.
Okay. All right. Seth.
Hey, I play piano.
Piano. Okay. Who am I? Matthew.
I play bass.
Haywood.
I play trumpet.
Trumpet. All right. Who am I missing? Donald, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man?
I know you. All right. Am I missing anybody? Brandon, what do you play?
I play saxophone.
Sax all day. All right. So,
oh yeah, wait, hold up. I just remembered. I think it was a couple years ago, but we played one of your tunes at the camp. It was "Son of Africa." I just wanted to tell you, love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wrote that for my brother. I had one day off on a 3-month tour in England, and that was the one day we had off, and I wrote that song. This is yeah.
Oh, word, that's what's up. That's what's up.
So, we basically working on arranging, and just writing and just finding our own voices, and that's really going to be like one of the biggest key points to what we're going to be working on this week. Trying to find your voice and find different ways that we're going to just express those ideas. All right. Because I mean, when we talk about arranging, writing, I like to think of it as like a 4 or 5 part progress for every song that I'm working on. If I'm working on this piece, sorry, you don't know what it is. I'm looking at it from a 4 to 5 step process. I'm writing the melody, right? Then I'm drafting, sketching an idea of that melody, of how I want to do it. Then I'm arranging it. Then I'm orchestrating it. All right. And then the final key point of that is being very mindful of who I call to play it, to perform, that is, when it's out in the world, it's out in the world for everyone else to play it. But when it's you presenting that music, now I'm thinking, okay, who do I want to be performing on this, because they can get the message across. Every song, every note that you play has a story within itself. It's just giving it an opportunity to breathe and live on its own. Did you all see that? It's a few PDFs that's in the folder.
Yes.
All right. I think I can do. Bam! Right there. Look at that. All right. So, um, this is the Salmon Go to Complete Arranger. It's a book I've had since high school. I love it. I every day I'm reading through it, um, to learn more. Just finished writing for a string quintet, and now all I did was spend my whole entire time just reading this book and finding different ideas and stuff like that. So we want to learn about each and every instrument. All right. So when we get to the point of orchestrating, we want to know how to get a certain sound. All my trumpet players, can you tell me what's the lowest note on your instrument?
F sharp.
All right. What's the highest note on the instrument? I guess whoever can get the highest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unlimited.
Yeah. All right. What's okay? What was Dizzy's highest note? Um, no, but the point is now that F sharp, that's the lowest note. What is the timbre of that note? What can you tell me about that note?
Well, when you're playing it in that lower register, it's a little hard to control to keep it like very centered, but it's doable.
Okay. All right. So now, if you needed, and I'm guessing that F sharp is here. Sorry. All right. We talking about F sharp right here.
I think it might be an octave below.
I think it's lower.
Yeah, that's it.
I think so.
So now, if you're arranging for an ensemble and you're trying to voice out these harmonies, it's good to know each instrument, the timbre of the instrument. What part of the instrument can you get the best sound? That's why certain keys, when you're arranging a tune, may be a little bit like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter for us because it's not like we have to sing the lyrics or anything like that. But certain keys resonate well with others, better than others on different instrument. So if I have a melody that's really in a nice warm area, in this range right here, you know, I may not want to give that to the trumpet. I may want to give it to a trombone. See what I'm saying? Because of where it lays. Now, and when that being the case, so I'll write my melody out and I'll have that melody be for the trombone. Now, everything else I'm doing around that would be arranging it, coming up with an idea of how to approach it, then orchestrating it. All right. So I have one tune here. It's a tune that I got called The Underdog. I'll play a recording so we can hear it. So this is the melody, right? Low dip, do li day, da da da. Harmonies, boom, 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 boom. All of that is great. Now I'm thinking of, okay, how do I want to? And I also put this chart in the folder as well, so if you'll find it in the folder. So now we have this, and I'm trying to find how do I want to orchestrate this or come up with different ways of approaching this. A melody like this, who would you consider giving the melody to? Just looking at the range of it, the highs and the lows, who would you give the melody to it? I'm just curious. Anyone can jump in.
Maybe like trumpet and sax.
Okay, trumpet and sax.
I'm thinking trumpet more so.
Trumpet.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting my screens together. All right. Okay. And why not trombone?
The notes would be way above the staff, right?
Okay, it'll be a little bit too high. And look, you see the range, the lows and the highs of it. Okay, maybe trombone. Maybe you would give trombone the melody where? Where would you shift the melody around? Play around with it.
At like 10. Trombone could sing like that melody.
Okay, that'd be pretty high though.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I've spent many years giving trombones B flat, and they're like, "Man, this is high." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, well, squeeze your cheeks harder. I don't know, get the high notes." But what about A? See, like the range of where A is. I would give the melody there and swap it there, and maybe give another another instrument the intro or the section that says pocket or whatnot. Um, okay, so now there are a few key things that we have to make sure that we go over whenever we're dealing with arranging. All right, a knowledge of theory. How are we with theory?
Good.
Good. Do we love theory? I know it's a weird question to ask. I was a kid that loved theory. I was that guy. All right. Piano proficiency. Are we proficient on the piano? Okay. All right. So those that are like, we just got to make sure that we work on it. You don't have to be the greatest pianist, but it helps to understand so you can see it from this perspective, rather than looking at it from this perspective. Another thing, a consistent appetite for listening to music. Do you constantly listen to music? Yeah. Do you explore music outside of things that you know? All right. And have to be completely honest with the things that you like, that you may know that your friends don't like. Are you comfortable with that idea? All right. So growing up, I like Evanescence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought they jam. All my friends were like, yo, you can't be listening to that. I thought they jam. They had great ideas, great orchestration. It's just being completely honest with yourself, because that's what's going to be the thing that's going to stick through your music. Finding your signature sound. All right. And that comes with being completely honest with yourself, to the point whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's Seth. That's got to be Seth, because it sounds like Seth. He would write this idea. All right. A key few things. Got that out the way. Open mind. Okay. So now, what are we currently working on? Anyone's currently working on anything right now as we speak?
I mean, I tend to start working on something and then I'm like, yeah, I like this idea. But then like kind of get to a point where I write a lot and then lose my kind of not train of thought, but like more ideas to put it into it. But then I'll have another idea for another song and just go write it. So like I'm at the point where like I'm writing a lot of songs, but I'm not finishing them.
Yeah. I literally have a box that's behind me since high school, filled with tunes that I've written, kind of finished, didn't really finish. Sam Minesco, I got to meet Sam Minesco 2001, 2002. I'm going crazy. This is out in Chicago. Finally get to meet him. And there's a picture of me asking him this question. I was like, Mr. Nestico, like, what do you do when you're writing a song and then like you go blank? He answered this question. It was the greatest answer I've ever heard in my life. You ready for this, Seth? I said, what do you do? He says, okay, so what you have to do is stop writing. And then he walked away. Everyone stood quiet, was just like, huh? Because every song that you're writing is a story, right? If you don't have the ending of the story, you just don't have the ending of the story yet. The worst thing you could do is actually try to force something that shouldn't be there. You'll end up writing something, then every time you get to that end of it, you're like, oh, I don't like that ending part. Complete, like, write the idea, store it. When you're ready, or you lived enough life to where you can finish it, then you'll finish it. I promise you. That's the one thing I can guarantee you. So if you got the idea, start it and put it to the side. Whenever you're ready, you'll finish it. All right. Or keep it on the piano. I like to keep it on the piano so I can see it. I can remember, okay, what am I working on? All right. So let's take a look at this chart right here to see what we're doing with it. I'm trying to make sure that my sound, and my sound comes from years of writing. And it's if you do it right, your sound should change. It should always grow with you. Whatever you liking, it should grow with you. Trying to find my signature sound. Trying to keep it honest to myself, what I like. And the selection of the members of the band that you pick also has a great part in the performing part of your writing. All right, if you know this drummer plays a certain way and you write a certain piece for him, it's going to approach it a certain way. So this is the underdog. Let's take a listen to this, and I should share my sound. All right, we'll just play a little bit because this is long. Can you all hear this? So keeping the melody as simple as possible, an idea. Finding different areas that I would want to mess around with the idea of the melody with. Finding different genres. Now, the reason why I would switch genres is because, or styles, not really genres, but like styles that I'm approaching it, is because my story is that I am an 80s baby, right? I grew up in 80. My family's from Haiti. So growing up at home, we listen to compa music. That's one aspect of my upbringing. Every Sunday we went where? Where do you go every Sunday? Go to church. So had to listen and play gospel music. Now I'm going to school with my peers. My peers are listening to pop music, R&B music, hip hop music. Boom, right? And then when I'm in music class, I'm studying jazz. I have to learn how to play changes and blah 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 and everything else that comes with that. So that's 4 to 5 to 6 different styles of music that I grew up listening to, that I actually enjoyed listening to. So whenever I'm writing, I'm trying to implement all of that in my writing. All right. Tell me some of the styles that you like to listen to. Anybody?
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, Seth.
Okay. I was gonna say, recently a lot of R&B soul. I've been trying to get into more gospel kind of stuff as well, but I'm all over the place, to be honest. I'm just trying to take in as much as possible and just kind of throw out what I don't like.
All right. So now, with all the stuff, you said you're all over the place. What is it that they all have in common that you enjoy?
I don't know. I'm a guy I like synth stuff, so I'm just trying to, with the R&B soul and everything, just the keyboards that they use and the sounds and the different chords that they use in R&B soul. I guess that would be like the core genre that I like to listen to, but also like indie pop. There's some stuff like the 80s kind of sounding synths and stuff that I enjoy.
Okay. Anyone else?
I've been getting into like a lot of classical music again, you know, because like I started with classical. But yeah, I like classical. I like folk music too, jazz. Really anything that has like really like nice like harmony and like nice harmonic direction. That's kind of like what gravitates, you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, personally I kind of like hard bop and like post contemporary bop. That's kind of where my jazz preference is, but for everything else it's kind of like R&B, indie soul, and even like trap like recently just because like it's so popular, but just the core of everything for me is like the groove and like how it makes you feel on the inside. So I think that's mostly where I kind of think about, if that makes sense, or like what makes them all connect is just the groove, and like obviously the melodies and all that, but the groove is essential.
Okay. All right. One more.
I'll go. If
I
unless
listen
you.
to scratch, mostly R&B nowadays because I feel like it depends on what type of mood I'm in, but mostly R&B and scratch by which is popular by Christian Scott, Atunde Azra, because I like how he's breaking like the stereotypical standards of jazz and like being out of the box and incorporating Black and Native American music with it, which is great. It's part of my heritage too.
Nice. Mason, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I also listen to like a range of different styles, like all over the place, but they all sort of have in common like groove and harmony. Like those are kind of the biggest things. And then like I've been recently getting more into like lyrics, like meaningful lyrics. Like if they tell a story or something, then I'll probably like it more.
All right, nice. So um meaningful lyrics. As a pianist, whenever we're playing ballads, we're taught. I mean, everyone should know the lyrics to a song whenever you're playing it, right? I mean, because it's how can you tell a story if you don't know what the story's about? Um, but this is key thing that we do when we playing ballads. If we're playing, um, so, okay, you can see it. So if we're playing something like Misty, right? Do we all know Misty, the standard? Okay, so so just those two chords, just the pick up to the first chord. Look at me. I'm either trying to give this sense of happiness, sadness, curiosity, whatever that feeling may be. So whenever I'm voicing that harmony on the piano, which is why we're harping back on make sure that we spend time on the piano and being proficient on the piano. Um, I'm trying to find a way of voicing that harmony to give it that sense that I want. Whether it's I'm misty, I'm happy, I'm sad, right? So if I want right a D over E flat. Now, if I need to orchestrate that or find a way of voicing it, I have my instruments are what we have. We have a trumpet, sax, um, and Valerie guitar, right? And bass guitar as well. All right. So those are three instruments: trumpet, saxophone, guitar. This is my harmony. Where would we place each note and why? The cool thing is, there you can't be wrong because it's all about exploration and being open to that idea of trying it. There, I spend hours just sitting down, playing chords, and it sounds weird, but I'm just E flat triad, E flat triad inverted, E flat triad inverted, second inversion, back to E flat triad root version. You know, just boom, 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 because it sounds different. If you think about it, it sounds different, although it may be the same notes. It's the same harmony, but it sounds different. There's something that makes it different. And being able to identify what makes that different is the key to finding that sound in your head. So D triad over E flat. Look at me. Where would you place? Who would the D triad? Who would you give what note to? Saxophone, trumpet, and guitar. I didn't skip it. Okay. All right, here we go. So in the text that you got, the PDFs, it talks about the range of the instruments, the timbre of the instruments, written and where it sounds. Okay. So now, who would you give the note D to? This note. Who would you give that to? We have trumpet, saxophone, and guitar.
Probably a trumpet because it's the melody note.
Okay. Anyone else?
I would probably want to put trumpet higher, so I'd probably say sax on that one, and then trumpet on one at the top.
So it'll be right here, though. This would be the range that you have. So the D would be the highest note already.
And yeah, trumpet.
Trumpet. Anyone says anything other than trumpet? Okay. The A. Who would you give the A to?
Saxophone.
Saxophone. Now, why?
To get that harmony.
Okay.
And then I feel like the guitarist can play like all the other notes, you know?
Okay. Anyone else?
I agree.
All right. Cool. All right. So now, I would do the same. I would also play around with it and see if I could get that trumpet to play that low A. You know, just for the timbre of like that brass sound, having that middle. You know, because once it gets low enough, it starts falling into the trombone range. And that's although it's a different sound, you know, the trombone at that range is a lot more smoother, but all depends on how you articulate it, how you play it, whether or not you want the section to be loud, you want it to be soft. It all depends on how you want to approach it. But switching the trumpet from the D to the A just to see how it sounds, you know, exploring it and seeing, okay, is this too low? Is it too muddy? Or does it work? And the way the harmonies is, it's going to naturally resolve itself. So although it's staying on that A, it'll be on the A for what, a beat or two, then it's going to move up to B flat. All right. That's just one way. So now, finding different ways of coming up with what if we're in a situation where we have trumpet, trombone, saxophone, guitar. Am I missing anything? Flute. Like now we're having a lot more instruments that we're doubling. All right. So giving different instruments shared harmonies or finding different ways of placing them. Giving a melody to an instrument that's doubled with another instrument. Has anyone ever played with having two instruments play a melody and see how it sounds, how the combination sounds? Sam Inesco. Okay. Sam Inesco was known for giving melodies to flute and what? Trumpet with the harmonium.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the timbre of those two instruments together gives you a certain sound. What's another? It's another popular one that you hear. I hear a lot, like in the Village in New York. Guitar and alto saxophone. That's becoming a very popular sound, right? Not really. I mean, that's been a popular sound for a while, but it's a very unique sound. What's another unique sound that you've been hearing?
I think I did a chart for confirmation. It was alto and trumpet. That's a very popular sound.
That's a very popular one. Um,
I think in orchestra too, I hear a lot of bassoon and cello actually. They
bassoon and
sound
cello.
really good together. Yeah.
Now, why do you think that is?
Um, for one, it's the timbre and the mid ranges for cello and bassoon, especially bassoon. It's like bassoon has like the silkiness of it, to where it's like that combined with the cello, it blends like very well together.
Yeah, yeah. It's like arranging and writing is very much similar to painting something, playing with different colors and man, I need a purple, but I don't have any purple. Let me find these two colors and put them together so I can get that purple color. It's the same thing when you're arranging and writing. Um, what's Are we in college or high school? What's our level right now?
I just graduated college.
Congratulations. Welcome to life.
Man.
College.
College.
You're in
All
high
right.
school.
College freshman.
So now the cool thing about while you're in school, because it gets real once you get out, you don't really have free time. You don't have free time to practice like you do once you're out of college. It's weird. Um, I had the habit, and I guess a bad habit, of grabbing other musicians. Say, hey, come here, come. Can you play this line for me real quick? Pulling out your phone, recording an alto player with a trumpet player playing a melody or playing a line. Write a simple line. Right? Then have a flute player play it, have a clarinet player play it, have them play it together. Like you building your archives of sound and you can learn them. So you get to the point where when you hear a melody, oh, I wanna get this sound, you know how to do it. Getting the different ranges. Valerie, as a guitarist, what other instrument do you like to complement you when you're playing a melody?
I feel like I always need a drum to like keep me in time behind me. But to complement with the guitar, I feel like the keys are very, very good. Yes. It's piano.
All right. Okay. What about Haywood?
Yes.
What sound do you find complements you more or better whenever you're playing a melody?
What do you mean by which sound?
What other instrument do you find complements your sound well?
I think electric piano.
Oh, like EP. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Who we got? John. John, what do you play? John Rhodes. Okay. Okay. Matthew. What instrument do you find complements your sound?
I feel like with electric bass, definitely guitar going with that sounds really good. With upright bass, probably more piano.
Yeah. All right. All right. So now these are all the little things that I want you to think about. Because past this point, we're going to be more actually just writing different ideas and having fun with them and seeing what works and what don't work. But the key thing that you need to do is to keep your mind open and find different sounds, different ideas. Find a recording of a song, two different recordings of a song of two different instruments playing them. See what complements what. Why does it complement it? Is this key fits really well with the sound that I have, or does it push against it? Different ideas. So let me pull up something on Finale real quick. Also, if you have anything that you're working on that you want to share, please bring it. Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. All right. Does it show you the Finale on your page on my screen? Okay. All right. So something as simple as this. I'm trying to find a big grand opening. Boom, bloom, 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 boom, bloom, 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 bloom. So let's take a listen to it. Hopefully it plays. Please let it play. Nope. It said negatory. I will not play for you. All right, there we go. All right. And then the Finale does this weird thing where it just scrolls late. Um, so I'm trying my best to get and these parts are being doubled. So imagine it's only trumpet and alto. So I'm trying to get as close as possible to like a string orchestral opening with only two instruments. And that's the thing. Okay. You got a quintet. These are only two instruments you have. How would you go ahead? I guess sextet because you have the melody. How would you go about giving who, what, when, where? So like all those lines, like popular lines that you would hear in the 80s, like something with Luther or something like that. Luther. So all right. So coming up with a simple idea. Um, our our goal, what I would want you to do on your own tonight, is come up with a simple idea that you have, whether it's just a simple bass line. All we need is the beginning of this to spark the interest. So a simple, maybe bass line. Here through your mic. Oh, okay. Okay. So come up with a simple idea, a simple bass line, or a simple melody, a simple drum beat. The idea can come from anything that you feel you could spark an idea from. All right. So, who likes when you're arranging a tune? Where do you approach it? Do you come from the bottom to the top? Do you write a melody first? Do you write the harmonies first? Do you write a line, a background? What do you do? What are some of your ideas?
I tend to go with the melody first, just to really kind of build around it and see what I can add to it.
Okay. Same thing with you, Valerie.
Melody, lyric. Usually a lyric will come to mind, then I'll come up with a melody, and yeah, the rhythm stuff after.
Okay. Now, who also on team melody first? A little bit. Okay. So now those who who usually writes the melody first, I want you to have fun with it and come up with the harmony first. All right, push yourself to come at it from that perspective. And those who write the harmony first, push yourself to write the melody first. It will help you open your mind and explore different sections where, like, okay, well, I'm so used to doing this. Now that I have a melody, I need to be able to figure out those harmonies that goes with it. You know, whether the key is changing. I don't allow key changes to limit me. Time signatures can also change. It doesn't always have to be in 4. It doesn't always have to be in 3. It all depends on how you want to do it. Writing a song in 11 and being able to have someone dance to it. The whole goal is so that someone can dance to it and not know that it's in 11. All right. So here is 7. Sorry, I'm pulling it up. So now that idea is sparked through that one line that you hear. Right? That's the one thing that have keep going. So even when the song ends, what's the last thing that you're hearing in your head? Does it sound like 7? Does it feel like 7? What does it feel like to you?
It's like a slow, like 7, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
It feels
5.
like an extension. Like it feels like it's like 6, but it's like it's that extension. Like I don't think about time, but it's like you're just like setting up another of the same phrase, basically.
Anyone else? Okay. So now the goal behind that is to find that one sound, that one, I guess you could call it a drone that just keeps happening, right? And something that you can get the listener to attach themselves to. And now they're living within that whole bubble, not even knowing that it's in 7. I went clubbing one time in Africa and didn't realize we were dancing to like a song in an odd meter until the drummer. It was always the drummer that's going to figure it out. Like, yo, man, this is in like 13. It's like, it's not in 13, bro. It was in 13. It was amazing. But the way they'd approach it, the way they would write it. So when you're writing it, it's the same way. If you want to do 7, bum, bum, ticka, 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 bum. You can do that, you know? There's nothing wrong with that idea. But if you want to make it a little bit smoother, then people will want to dance to it. And if they want to dance to it, then that's everything. That's literally everything. All right. So everyone that's on team, write melody first. I want you to come up with a simple harmony. I mean something, let's say four bars only, just 4 bars long. I don't care if it's 4 bars of C major, as long as it's 4 bars. All right. Don't give me 4 bars of C major. I'm gonna be like, really? You didn't even change it? Okay. And those who come up with harmonies first, come up with a simple melody. And we're gonna put them together. Then we're gonna find different orchestrations or different arranged bands to put them for. Because when you're arranging, are you trying to arrange for a small group or a large group? So it's all about being able to put all that together and having fun with it and put in any situations that you can. All right. My questions for you all Is anyone arranging for a large ensemble right now? What is the largest ensembles have you arranged for or written for so far?
I had an arranging class and we had to arrange for like a big band. So I like had to like sit out and like write, everything out. But that's like the biggest.
That's what, that 22 piece,
Yeah.
21, 22.
Like every instrument, guitar to sax solo too.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So now the thing about writing for like large ensembles, you may see like 20 something instruments. It doesn't mean that you have to have 20 something parts, different parts. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So okay, so because if we're voicing, if the harmony to a song is a B flat sus, a B flat, A flat, C, E, B flat, right? Sorry, I'm getting, bam, there we are. All right, so if your harmony is this, you're looking at that like, okay, well, I have to figure out how to get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes for 20 something people. I always look at it like the range. What instruments are in this range that I can share these notes to, rather than trying to give everybody that part and such and such. Have we done trio work? The smallest that you've written for? Okay. Quartet, quintet, marching band, jazz band. Well, we've got one jazz band, symphonic band. What would you like to write for?
I mean, in like the long run, I think like probably big bands would be fun to write and arrange for. But at the moment, probably like quartet, maybe.
Okay. I do find it that the smaller the group that I'm writing for, the more creative I have to be. You know what I mean? Because I don't have 17 different parts to do. Pop, 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 pop. I got to get all this in between the piano, drums, and bass. So we're gonna be. It's like it becomes like a crazy arrangement because it's like, well, it's only 3 of us. It's me, Darian, and the bass player, and so we have to be a little bit more creative. So like the bigger it is, you can kind of like spread out some of these ideas and have fun with them. Um, so, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. All right, Idri, I got that right. Oh, look at that. See, Darren, man, you need to get on my tip. What size ensemble do you want to write for?
Idri, we can't hear you for some reason.
Like it's a top secret.
In the future, probably orchestras, big bands, because I want to get into writing compositions for films. So yeah, but I wasn't able to answer your question. I did write for a trio.
Oh, okay. All right, big band. All right. Haywood, what size ensemble are you trying to write for?
I'm thinking more so like, I guess, small bands, big bands, and orchestras, because I am a rapper, and thinking like to like BET performances or so, I'd want to have like a set arranged thing for my piece. So yeah.
All right, I think that's a dope idea, especially if you're writing it and you know exactly what you want. It makes working with the musician, of course, obviously, our side to be a whole lot easier, rather than this is my mixtape and figure it out, which I hate. I really don't like that. How am I have to buy your mixtape and figure it out? Mason, what group are you looking to write for?
I think it'd be cool to write for like a large orchestra in the future. But for now, I've been writing sort of for like combos, but so like smaller group things. And I do like how like that forces you to be more creative and stuff like that. But I think eventually it would be really cool to write for like big bands and like full large orchestras, arrangements like that.
Okay. Are we writing by hand, or are we using a music notation software?
I use MuseScore.
Music. Okay. Anyone else?
I have Sibelius.
Any Finale? What's another one?
Finale all the way, baby.
Dorco Pro.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So the assignment would be 4 measures of an idea, and bring it back for Wednesday. I believe we're getting together, and we're gonna sketch it out for a small group. Let's say quintet. That's the smallest we can get, right? Quintet. We'll try big band, and we'll see if we can get an orchestra in there. But you need to give me 4 measures of an idea, and we'll put them all together and see how we can build it. Yes, Valerie.
Written for a group ensemble before. So what program do you recommend I use for the assignment?
I have Finale. That's what I'm using. What is the free one?
MuseScore is free.
MuseScore. Can you write that in the chat for us? Yeah. So just a simple 4 measure idea. And we're gonna put them all together and see what we can come up with. All right, because the actual orchestrating and writing it out, it's cleaning the chart up to make it look presentable is really the hardest thing about writing a tune. Which always gets skipped on. We have to spend some time on that one as well. So that Mr. Will doesn't red ink your chart, because I will red ink your chart if it's written wrong. Yeah, just don't
I
bring
can
back.
attest to that.
Yeah, don't. You got to make it. You got to make it always look presentable. So that best case scenario, worst case scenario, you can sell it. You can sell like profit from that. So when you're working on something, said, okay, well, I got my charts. Then I gotta make it look presentable, so that if I want to get it published and sold, that I can make money. So whatever chart you write is still paying you, no matter how old the chart is.
Hey, Will, so we coming up on time, but I do want to make sure we I understand and we all understand what the assignment is. So we're gonna do a 4-bar tune, and that's it. Just single melody line, and then we're gonna adapt that to different groups in the next class. No?
Yeah. So those who are used to writing melodies first, I want you to write 4 measures of harmony first instead. Those who are used to writing harmonies first, right? Give me 4 measures of a melody. As simple as that. All right. Cool. And we're going to build from that. We're going to see how we can build from it and apply to different ensembles and different sizes. Cool. All right. And even if you don't have a music software at the moment, I'll plug it into mine, and I'll share my screen so you can see it from that perspective and listen to it. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.